Matt Beach, and I'm the Vice President of Sales for SeatMyTrucks. And I've been in the trucking industry for several years, and most of my time has been in the trenches of recruiting. And I've met a lot of amazing people who are very passionate about the success of this industry. And today I'm privileged to have this opportunity with a proven leader in the trucking industry, and that's Jim Morbach with Werner Enterprises. And Jim, I always like to open up with a fun question and to help get the conversation going. And can you remember your first paying job when you were younger? Was it mowing yards? Was it construction? What was it?
Oh, I sure do remember it. It didn't pay very well, but I was able to get a pretty good workout in every day. I'm a farm boy. I was the only son on a fairly large farm in rural Nebraska. We raised corn, soybeans, had some livestock, 14 irrigation wells, everything that goes along with maintaining a farm. So, it's certainly a lot of work growing up, but it gave me the opportunity to work with my dad and, learn the value of having a strong work ethic.
That's great. I mentioned mowing yards because that's what I did. And, I don't know if you remember seeing the movie Can't Buy Me Love and Patrick Dempsey. And I can tell you nothing in that movie it never happened. Never happened for me.
Well, at least you save some money not having to buy a white suede leather jacket.
That is true. That is true. If you don't mind, Jim, please tell us a little bit about yourself and your time and position at Werner Enterprises.
Yeah, for sure. I served over 21 years in the United States Air Force. The majority of my career was in the security forces. I was a first sergeant. My last 4.5 years, I was in recruiting and retention. I retired from the active duty side on October 2nd, 2011. And on October 3rd of 2011, I joined the Werner Enterprises team as their manager of military recruiting. 7 months later, I was given the additional responsibility of the 12 Werner field recruiters. The field recruiters visit hundreds of CDL truck driving schools throughout the United States, and they speak to students while they're in school to obtain their CDL. From there, my career continued to evolve, and the last, over 5 years, I've been in my current role. Currently, I'm responsible for Werner's military hiring programs, the external new driver recruiting programs, CDL school relationships for over 500 truck driving school locations, and I'm the executive sponsor for organizations such as the Commercial Vehicle Training Association and the National Association of Publicly Funded Truck Driving Schools. Those organizations work with carriers and associate members on critical industry issues and promote highway safety through quality training.
And I've always been very impressed with what Werner Enterprises not only does for those who are current professional drivers and for those and as an industry as a whole, but also those who have served in our nation's military and the support that Werner has implemented within their military or their hiring for military personnel. And if it's okay, I'd like to get more in depth with your military hiring program. Am I right that Werner Enterprises was the first to develop the industry's first truck driver apprenticeship program for the military?
Yeah, you're correct, Matt. Werner developed the industry's first apprenticeship program for truck drivers back in April of 2006. Since then, we've enrolled approximately 12,000 veteran apprentices into our program to help professional drivers transition from military service and receive hands-on training, skills, and competencies to provide them the means to have a successful career. It is so important to be in a nationally recognized program that has established credibility and enables new drivers to develop the skills that are essential in our industry.
So how do these types of programs work for those coming out of the military and assisting veterans with easing the transition into the civilian workforce?
First of all, apprenticeship programs are all different. Werner Enterprises has a nationally recognized apprenticeship program. It's through the Department of Labor and approved by the Department of Veterans Affairs. For those service members looking to transition or those that have already retired or separated and are eligible for VA educational benefits, it's simple. You do your research and find an apprenticeship program that will provide you the skills needed for the job you're seeking, and it'll help you develop and prepare for your future career. At Werner, we're proud to help all transitioning service members and veterans alike with this process. We have a team that is led by veteran associates who's focused on the military initiatives and provide a centralized point of contact for military assistance from everything from questions about career opportunities in trucking to current Werner drivers having questions about their National Guard obligations. Our apprenticeship program provides not only a place for these service members and veterans to obtain the skills needed to be safe and professional driver, we also want them to, feel a sense of belonging and community during their transition into the civilian workforce.
No, that's great. I mean, is it challenging? Is it a challenging process for a carrier that doesn't have their own military apprenticeship program to start one on their own?
Not really. First off, having a successful program begins with ensuring you have capable and innovative associates managing it and implementing the program effectively each and every day. The apprenticeship programs come a long ways in terms of simplifying the processes and starting a program from the beginning. A few years back, the Department of Labor helped create industry mediators to streamline these processes. And an apprenticeship mediator helps businesses successfully set up and establish their program. As I said before, Matt, it's so important to have qualified associates running the program the right way because there are VA and Department of Labor audits, and they can be pretty extensive. A failed audit could be detrimental to a company's program, so you got to be sure your program is locked down.
That's great advice. Just thinking about Werner and the amount of military personnel that you hire. What percent of Werner's driver population have prior military backgrounds?
No, that's a great question, and that's something Warner is extremely proud about. Warner Enterprises veteran population comprises approximately 20% of our total workforce worldwide.
You keep hearing retention, 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 and we hear it daily, right? Is this bucket of drivers key for an increased retention percentage for a carrier with a solid military driver program?
Yeah, absolutely. Our military forces has a solid foundation at Warner, and our analytics show that we are able to retain them at a higher rate than the non-veterans. And I believe that has a lot to do with the factors such as adaptability, work ethic, service before self, leadership skills they bring with them from the military training and experiences. You know, by no means am I saying that only veterans bring these to our organization, but their ability to quickly change to their surroundings and being able to roll with the ebbs and flows of the transportation and logistics have been amazing to watch for me over my time here at Warner.
Yeah, we've both visited and presented in several truck driving schools across the nation. Educating students on the trucking industry. When it comes to trucking schools and your own data, are you seeing more emphasis from schools pushing those with prior military experience to become a truck driver?
The CDL schools we partner with, they want success for all their graduates, regardless of whether they're a veteran or not. I wouldn't say they push harder for those with military experience. However, I've heard many positive comments from CDL's instructors regarding the former military veterans who are current students. They have positive attitudes, ability to learn and focus on time. They're dependable. Also you have to factor in the location of the school. Schools located closer to military installations usually have a higher percentage of military veteran enrollments than schools located away from bases. And for the schools that are VA certified, veterans can use their GI Bill benefits to pay for their training. And this significantly benefits the schools and the veteran because they don't have to obtain financing.
My father served in the Army during the Vietnam War, and he drove many miles in an old Deuce and a half. And to this day, he still has his Class A license and credits his own military time for his own personal success and work ethic. In your own expert opinion, why are those who have prior military experience, whether it be driving or non-driving, are so highly sought after in the trucking industry?
Well, please first tell your father I said thank you for his service. I really appreciate that. There are so many parallels between serving your country in the military by protecting our way of life and serving your country as a professional driver by delivering essential goods to the American people. Those that have prior military experience, regardless of what career field they served in, have the ability to change and adapt with the industry quickly. They learned day one of basic training to adapt to their surroundings, make quick, safe decisions, and work hard and be dependable in order to complete the mission on time and safely.
Great points, Jim. The table that's set for one. I've seen Werner do this for a while now, and it's very, very moving. Can you explain what that is, why Werner displays that, and what each part means?
Yes, Warner is so proud to support and honor pay homage to those service members, past and present. Every year on Veterans Day, we display the missing man table at each and every one of our 15 terminals throughout the United States in order to commemorate those that have come before us as a tribute and reinforce the message that we will never forget them. Each item that we have placed on the table are symbolic to America's prisoner of wars and missing in action. Let me explain the meanings. The table is round to show everlasting concern. The cloth is white, symbolizing the purity of their motives when answering the call to service. The single red rose reminds us of the lives of these Americans and their loved ones and friends who keep the faith while seeking answers. The yellow ribbon symbolizes our continued uncertainty, hope for their return, and determination to account for them. A slice of lemon reminds us of their bitter fate, captured or missing in a foreign land. A pinch of salt symbolizes the tears of our missing and their families. The lighted candle reflects our hope for their return. The Bible represents the strength gained through faith to sustain us and those lost from our country, founded as one nation under God. The glass is inverted to symbolize their inability to share a toast. The chair is empty, they are missing. As an organization, we are so proud to represent the Missing Man table each year and feel that is important to not only support all veterans and currently serving, but to remember those that are not with us today.
Thank you for sharing. It's actually a very moving event when you guys do that, and I love seeing it. What's next for Werner Enterprises in terms of reaching out within the military for promoting driving opportunities and other positions within the trucking industry?
Werner's culture is compassed around our drivers, and we place quality and safety first. Our American warfighters who have taken an oath to defend our country and the pride and success they have doing it is a true testament to quality. I feel Werner has not only an industry-leading veteran program, but I would put our program up against anybody's in the United States. We have a combination of partnerships and MOUs with the active duty and the National Guard services, and we're able to present Werner's opportunities and career paths prior to separating the active duty and while they're serving in the National Guard. In addition, we have a support network within Werner to help veterans with their transition and help them with any issues or challenges that arise. We're going to continue to build upon our current programs. We're going to be better at what we do. We will continue to streamline our processes to make them more efficient by working with our strong partners from the military services, VA, and Department of Labor. We're going to continue adding to our Freedom Fleet, show that our support to veterans and their loved ones that Werner appreciates all they have done and sacrificed. At the end of the day, we have to do everything we can for our veterans to ensure a seamless transition from the active duty service to Werner Enterprises.
That's awesome. Jim, if you had the opportunity to talk to a class of military personnel looking to make their way into a civilian position, how would you pitch the trucking industry to them?
Great question. Bottom line, in the trucking industry, as long as you are safe and on time, you're going to have a job forever. While serving in the armed forces, you have a sense of job security, stability, a sense of pride knowing you're serving your country by protecting your loved ones and our American way of life. As a professional truck driver, you also have a sense of security and stability, in addition to continuing to serve your country by delivering essential goods to the American people. I feel that thing that appeals to so many men and women serving our country are the opportunities the military has to offer. Promotions, specialty training, cross training, learning another job, knowing you're going to get a paycheck, benefits such as retirement pay and medical insurance. The trucking industry is very similar. Solid pay, benefits such as 401k, health and dental insurance, a sense of pride, a career path. New drivers can become mentors, leaders, freedom truck drivers, safety specialists, managers, executives, and job security and stability. For example, most recently during the COVID-19 pandemic, we witnessed empty shelves in the grocery stores. Imagine what it would be like if professional drivers just did work, just went home and did nothing, right? We witnessed so many people being laid off, losing their jobs, guests who continue to work and receive a paycheck and support their families. Professional drivers did, and they felt a sense of pride that they're making a difference.
Hey, Jim, where can veterans who are interested in becoming a driver for Werner Enterprise go for more information?
Werner.com for all of our latest news, as well as social media platforms to follow Werner, such as Facebook and Instagram.
That's great. Well, Jim, thank you for your time. And as always, thank you for your leadership and everything that you and Werner Enterprise are doing for the trucking industry and for our military heroes.
Thank you, Matt. It's an absolute pleasure speaking to you today. I know you've done a lot of great things for our industry over the years, and I appreciate you very much. Thank you much.
Thanks, Jim.
You bet.